That looks like an interesting circuit. Just had to modify a couple of parts to allow for what I have in stock. Let's go build it. Let's clean up first. So instead of just cleaning up the top of the bench and a couple of things that are in the way, I'm just going to take everything out of here. That's a little room I've been using for probably about 6-8 months on a regular basis as a electronic lab, and that gave me time to work out what I actually need here, what tools I actually use and what tools are just sitting on the bench gathering dust and taking space that I could be using for something more useful or simply more bench space to work on projects, and probably make a bit more space around the back too. I have a few bits of equipment that has been sitting in the road and just taking up space. It's not a very big room. It's more than enough compared to some of the other bench I've seen people showing online, but still, the more space I can have, the better. Makes it a bit easier. Probably setting up different camera angles, so I can do some proper videos about what I'm doing and share what I build. What you can see on the back there is a big piece of MDF. It's just sitting against the wall. There's a couple of bits of 50x50 square tubing with a bit of felt so it doesn't scratch the paint on the wall, and I can drill whatever hole I want in it. I can put screws, I can tape paper on it, I can write on it, and when I'm done in this room I can just take it away and be like if nothing ever happened. So there is a space I have to work with. So we got space again. The first thing I'm going to fix is lighting. So far I only have one light bulb on the ceiling. Replaced it with a big LED light bulb, but it's still a bit too little to see what I'm doing when I'm working, and it makes it hard to film. Plus the other problem, it's making shadows on the desk because it's just behind me. So the idea is to put this LED strip that I recovered from LED TV, 65-inch LED TV. It's about 80 watt all up, and that's the power supply that was in the TV with a LED driver board. I'll have to modify it a little bit. I'll probably mount that power supply up there with a bit of polycarb in front of it. It's only 10-15 mil thick, and I'm not sure yet whether to have the LED strip facing down that way, which is probably going to give a lot of glare on whatever's on the desk, or having it face up and reflect on the white ceiling. That's probably a better idea. So that's exactly what I mean by being able to screw things in the MDF bolt instead of drilling in the wall, because I'll end up with a fair few holes in there, and I don't really want to have to replaster the wall and repaint it when I move out of it. the other big advantage of having that board being about 50 mm away from the wall is that I can run all my wiring and cables behind it, just drill a couple of holes and route cables in the back, makes it cleaner. And I'll eventually have a little switch panel and display panel, so I can control power supply. So I got the light up there, the power supply too. And that's exactly why I need it, because you can't see anything. Right, so that's a main side power supply. Mains come in here. And that's the output to power all the circuits in the TV. Luckily they're all labeled. And that's LED driver board. Same, everything's labeled. Power input, power output. And those are the cable from the TV. So what do we need? We need got power on off, and adjust this brightness control. I already had a cable done up because I tested before putting it up there. Power comes in. Got the potentiometer, pinching 5-volt. Orange wire there comes from the main board, goes to the potentiometer on one side. Got black wire there is ground to the other side of the potentiometer, and a bit hard to see, long blue wire behind there is the output and goes to the adjust pin on the driver board. And I'll pick up the 5-volt here to go to a switch, on off switch. Output goes to the white wire going to the on off on the driver board. Green wire there doesn't mean anything anymore, it was just to test something else. Actually I'm lying. A green wire goes back to the main supply, and that's our power supply enable. Alright, I had to take the driver board down because I lost the cable that goes from the driver board. There's a little breakout for the two strips. There's two strips of LED up there. So I'm just gonna put wires instead. I'll do a video about exactly how I worked out how to repurpose that power supply, or if not this exact one, I'll take apart another TV. So we gotta keep those two separate, because one side goes to one side of the driver board and the other side goes to the other side of the driver board. There's two halves on it, one side there, one side there. The reason there's a budge wire here is that for some reason, I haven't figured out why yet, the on-off wire goes to both sides, turn both drivers on, but the adjust trace only goes to one side of the driver. but the other side is full brightness all the time. So what I did is I traced where that wire goes, I jumped it, being identical circuit, I jumped it to the brightness control on the other side, so that when I adjust brightness with a potentiometer, it does it equally on both sides of the driver. I have absolutely no idea why they do that in the TV. Why you would want to change the brightness on half of the TV. It's probably a trick with one of the non-connected wire. Or I have checked that it's got nothing to do with ground return path. Sometime on those TVs, the screws are grounding. The screws are used as a connector to the chassis, and the two grounds for the ground side on this side and ground on this side are not connected on the PCB. When you put the screws, it'll connect the two halves through the chassis of the TV. That's why sometimes you find a TV that is not working or working intermittently, and all you have to do is tighten two screws and you got a properly working TV again. So I got that all connected. Move the camera to get a better view of the bench and turn it on and see what it does. There we go. Can dim it a little bit. And now I can see what I'm doing. Right, now that I can finally see what I'm doing, we'll bring back all the tools and instrument I will actually be using. I'll have to work out how I want to wire everything, all the power supply and cable in all the test equipment. I'll have a couple of variacs to wire in and bring out to power points, and install dim bulb tester for when I want to test all the equipment that I'm not very confident about, or big projects that might let out some smoke, and I'll go over that in the next video. I'll just leave you to a quick time lapse of me putting the lab back all together.